Speedrun.com PB is very outdated. So
Hello, and again, welcome to the
probably check his stream though.
The portal will open and emergency testing will begin in 3, 2.
All right, and the racers are off. So these first few maps don't really have any you know, large technical things to worry about, I guess. Also, it looks like his splits would say his personal best is a 38.46, but I'm pretty sure he's been faster than that, so I don't really know. Regardless, Daniel definitely has a few minutes on Jonese here as far as PBs go, so we'll see how this develops. Yeah, if there's any specific questions you guys have, though, let me know. I'll try to, at least for this first race, go over most of the technical aspects of the speedrun, so anyone who's not already familiar with Portal 2 speedrunning can acquaint themselves with what's going on. But most of these first few maps, there's not too much to talk about. It's mostly just, you know, bunny hopping, which is just using strafe keys to jump faster. It's pretty common in a lot of Source games, so you've likely seen it before. But if not, this is what it looks like. Portal 2 bunny hopping's a little different in that when you hit 300 velocity, you actually lose all air control, so runners have to be careful about how fast they're going. If they have to slow down if they want to make a turn. Daniel falls down that pit. He's supposed to do what Jonese did, which is shoot a portal under the cube and have it fall into the button, but he recovered it pretty well. They're using portals next to the door in order to push the cube through the door. And when the cube gets behind the door, the game detects that you've been trapped because there's a way to do that legitimately. Hi, Burger 40. Ooh, Daniel having a little bit of trouble. They're pretty close. Jonese's timer is a little bit ahead, so Daniel definitely has the lead now. Yeah, so what was supposed to happen is what Daniel did. You put the portal under the cube and grab the cube out of midair, out of the orange portal, but Jonese missed it there. Daniel does it again on Future Starter. Portal standing also allows you to just get to places faster, particularly when you only have control of one portal. Let me actually switch to Daniel's audio real quick. Yeah, Daniel getting a pretty substantial lead though, so far. So this map, the next two maps really that Daniel's on are pretty gutted. There's cutscenes in both of these maps that were removed from the game. So normally you'd have this whole thing with Wheatley where he's trying to, you know, build up the courage to fall off his rail, and that's completely cut out of the game here in Speedrun mod because there's not really any significant gameplay that's done. There is a way to skip it, but it's kind of most of the skips that are in full game that skip cutscenes. When there are cutscenes that can be skipped, they're usually pretty irritating tricks to do, and they're often difficult. And so a lot of newer runners aren't able to do them at all. And so in order to cut out waiting time for everyone, to make this pleasant for everyone to play, all the cutscenes have just been cut out of this, even if they have ways to skip them. And this cutscene as well. This cutscene that Daniel just passed doesn't actually have any way to skip in full game, so that's a good skip right there. All right, so going into Incinerator, Daniel now just grabbing the dual portal device, and he can he's just using portal standing here to get around the map a little faster and jumps on top of these panels at the end. Portal standing is when you stand outside of one portal and just shoot the other one while walking back into the first one, and you'll end up at a different destination. Useful little trick. And there, Daniel just skips the puzzle and laser intro by jumping to the exit from that portal surface. Daniel now on laser stairs. He's just gonna pop a portal at the exit there. It's just poor level design is why you can do that, and no other reason. There's nothing tricky going on there. You could probably do this yourself in a game. Just, you know, jump up and see that portal surface, and you can shoot it and skip the puzzle. All right. Jonese entering chapter 2. Daniel doing laser switch glitch, where he's just gonna shoot the laser into one of the laser nodes, and then switch it to the other one while pushing up against the door, and the door will let him through because both laser nodes were very, very briefly activated at the same time. All right. We'll see what Daniel does here. I think he's going to do Wet Maker, which is a pretty tough trick. Ooh, Jonese misses that cube. Yeah, so Daniel's going to toss this cube and reportal himself across. He misses it. Reportaling is when you... So if you stand just on the outside of that blue portal for Daniel and shoot orange, the blue portal will push you out, such as to prevent exploits. But if you go into it with some speed, then you can... you abuse that push and actually gain a speed boost. And we'll see this used several times throughout the run. Daniel's having some trouble, though, here, allowing Jonese to actually catch up. And Jonese, I think, is going to do Modified Intended, unless he switched to the Super Reportal route. There, Daniel finally getting it. That's a very difficult trick. He's clearly frustrated by that, because he's usually, reasonably consistent at it. Yeah, so Jonese going for Modified Intended. He'll definitely make up time against Daniel, though. Ooh, Jonese actually going fully intended. And jumping into the goose. Trying to get ahead of the platform there and jumping to the exit. But yeah, neither runner having a great laser over goo here. So Daniel entering Trust Flame. These two maps, Catapult Intro and Trust Flame, are mostly there to introduce you to faith plates and don't really have any, they're not really difficult puzzles, and they're not, there's not too much to skip. You can see Daniel doing this here. He's just going to strafe instead of taking the rest of the faith plates. It saves, some time, but that's really the most exciting thing he does. Well, he also sets that portal up a certain way so that just to guarantee that the sphere will land on the button and activate the door. It's not always necessary, but it can be. It doesn't lose time to do it, so we always just do it to be sure that we don't lose time to that. All right, we'll see what Daniel does. I think Daniel's going to do triple reportal here. So you can see a good example of reportals. Ooh, never mind. All right, he's doing this now. So what he's going to do is he's going to get stuck in a portal and shoot the opposite portal a bunch of times to stack those pushes I was talking about earlier and launch himself to the end. Yeah, he must have switched to that recently, because I was talking with him about this a couple days ago, and yeah, he was doing triple reportal at the time. All right. Yeah, so Daniel choosing to go for a slightly slower route, but not by too much, where he just shoots those lasers into place. Jonese now going for triple reportal. Oh no, I think he always did this. So there he's going to just reportal 3 times to try to get to the end, but it's pretty tough to do. It's the reportals get harder the faster you're going through the portal, because just then the window for shooting that is a lot smaller. And Daniel's probably going to go for a reportal here, and oh, no he's not. Okay. Jonese also going for the slower route on Fizzler intro. Interesting decision from both runners, because I mean, it only loses a couple seconds, but the other route's not too difficult, so I'm surprised to see both runners opt out of it. Ooh, Daniel going for that reportal strafe there, and he gets it second try. So what Daniel's going to do here is he's going to launch that cube in front of the laser, grab it, and just as the panels come back up, he's going to bounce himself to the exit. It's a really, really well, optimized trick. It's really convenient that works out. The timing's tough, but it works. Is Jonesy? Yeah, that's what everyone says, but I'm not sure that that's actually right. Okay, so Daniel just gonna do this. I guess I can call him Jonesy. That just doesn't make sense, though, because it's like ESE. Ooh. Jonesy going for a pretty outdated ricochet route. Not too slow, but just not one you see too often. Ooh, he just doesn't... Oh, he missed the cube there. He tried to cube hop. Daniel going for a safe bridge the gap route. Interesting. Really, really odd route from Daniel. I saw him doing this his last race too. Really strange that he's doing that. I feel like there's faster ways to do a safe route than that. He said it himself? Oh, okay. Jonesy it is then. Ooh. Alright, so Daniel probably, yeah, he's just not going to kill these turrets. He just, ooh, weird though to... Okay. That worked out fine. Okay. So Daniel, going into laser relays, this is another example of the laser switch glitch being used. There we go. Oh, I guess I can see how it's pronounced Jonesy now. That makes sense. Yeah, see, okay, see, Jonesy here, now, this is a... Oh, well, he messed it up, but that, I think, was probably a faster way to go about doing this. Well, what I'd recommend Jonesy do there is to not stop, just to let go of the cube, place the portal, and then re-grab it in the air. So it's not too much harder, but it's a lot faster. You can see the turrets burning here on laser versus turret for Daniel is much, much faster. Alright, Jonesy choosing to kill these turrets off. It's definitely a lot safer, but does lose a couple seconds. Okay. The end of Chapter 3 now, just in general, isn't too interesting. Jonesy does laser switch glitch here like Daniel did, but then after this, it's... I mean, there's not too much interesting stuff that happens. Laser v turret and pull the rug basically have their intended solutions, and turret blocker, which is the map that Jonesy's going into now. You might have seen Daniel do this. He actually uses the turret to boost himself. You can see here he's just going to jump and get boosted by the turret. So there's an optimization there. Here Daniel's just going to grab that cube out of the air instead of using the bridge to stop it. Okay, so now Daniel's going to line this cube up and do a reportal. Ooh. Messes the reportal up a little bit there, but gets it just like that. Interesting, he tried to reportal with the wall behind him first and then switch to the other one. I wonder if he's started to like switch that route for some reason. I don't think one's necessarily better than the other. I do the wall behind me, but most people don't do that, and so I'm surprised to see him attempting it. Okay, Daniel going for a safe route. Mostly the route usually involves dropping the cube onto the laser, but this is prone to mistake because if the cube isn't lined up well, then you can have to go back and fix it. If you know how it's done, though, if you know the lineup to do it correctly, it's pretty consistent. So I'm always surprised when I see runners go for that laser chaining route, just because it seems not as fast. Okay, so here Daniel's going to do laser switch glitch with 3 nodes. He's just going to spam those 3 and problem solved. Jonesy going into Chapter 4 now. Doing a slightly slower variation of this route, but it's basically the same thing. But the problem here is he's going to have to... Oh, he's doing this. Okay, so he's... Yeah, Jonesy's opting out of the reportal. Daniel just using portals to get to the other side of the room after they fizzle. When the lights turn off, it definitely saves a couple seconds. Kind of awkward to do, but not too bad once you get used to it. And Daniel getting this... I don't think he got the stair boost, but he was able to hop over that railing there. Ooh. Gets caught on something there. Yeah, so Daniel going through the escape sequence of the mid-game. We'll see if he does anything fancy on this map. This map is done still by a lot of runners just the intended way. We'll see what he does. Okay, so he's jumping on the rails here. He's probably going to try and jump around this invisible wall. Oh, he opts not to. You have to have a pretty decent hop pattern in order to get around that. Just know what I'm talking about. The bend in the catwalk that Daniel passed where the turret is. You can hop on the railing and pass it, but there's an invisible wall that prevents you from doing that, so you have to kind of jump over the abyss. All right, so Daniel, headed into chapter 5. Yeah, Joni's having some trouble with that. All right, so yeah, so I'm sorry, Jonesy. I'm gonna have to get used to that because I've been calling him Jonies. All right, Daniel hopping onto the railing there, or I'm sorry, the rail where Wheatley is. It's faster ideally to just go onto the conveyor belt, but if you don't have a good cycle, then you're going to get blocked by those big panel things, and so in that case, it's definitely faster to go on the rail. I usually go on the rail just because I get bad cycles so often. So if you're slightly slower than the optimal, then that's what happens. All right. And we'll see what Jonesy does here. He's on the railing as well. We'll see if he goes for the jump. He doesn't. All right. So Daniel's on a map that actually has a couple of routes. Normally, there's really only one route that's viable, but because of the cutscene skip, there's actually 2 routes that are comparable in speed, and I've seen runners go for both very frequently. So we're going to see what he does here. And he got the turret, so I think what he does here is if the turret's flying by when he's running through that area, then he'll just grab it. Otherwise, he won't stop. So what he's going to do with the turret is he's going to use a portal bump to get himself into there and put the turret. Well, it's exactly what you're supposed to do. This is like reasonably fast because the door then opens immediately because of Speedrun mod. The alternative is there's a really, really precise shot you can do to actually shoot above that door. And be able to pass through that room without the turret. You can actually get a portal on the other side of the door, but it's very, very precise. So if you're not, good at the lineup, then it'll just take you too long to do to be worth doing. But if you're good at the lineup, then it's usually faster than getting the turret. All right, Daniel choosing to let Wheatley pass there. You can get stuck on Wheatley. It's possible to soft lock. It doesn't usually happen doing that. I've never gotten soft lock getting caught on Wheatley, but I've heard of this being a thing. Oh, Joni's having some trouble shooting that portal there. All right. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm sorry, Jonesy. This is going to be tough. This is going to be an ongoing struggle throughout this whole commentary. All right, Daniel trying to shoot. You can shoot through that door and land a portal on one of those panels, but it only really saves time if you just like get it as you're running through. Basically, it's really tight. I think Daniel's only gotten it like once. In full game, it's beneficial to do anyway because the door takes so long to open. But yeah, on speed mod, it's not really fast unless you get it instantly. Okay. So Daniel just flaying himself over those panels. No problem. All right, Daniel heads into chapter 6. So the maps 2 Ride and Law and Fall were completely cut out of this mod because they're completely cutscene maps. As you can see, he goes straight into Underground here. And yeah, so Daniel's able to just shoot that portal surface over there. That's a little bit later on the map than you're supposed to go. It's pretty easy to see. It's just an oversight, I guess, by the developers. We'll see what route he goes for here. All right, he goes for the standard. Just hit both buttons and then line this up. There's a slightly faster way you can do it where you can place that one of those portals in a way that you can just reportal yourself to the end, but it's kind of awkward to do. So a lot of runners haven't gone for it. Ooh. Jonesy getting stuck there. All right, so Daniel's going to stand on the edge of this, and he's going to jump over the goo. Oh, he doesn't strafe back in time, but you saw he landed his portal. There's a big portable surface on the other side of that cliff. And he's able to just get it. There he gets it. And by doing this, he can portal stand to the top of... Oh, he doesn't get the portal stand, but he gets up there anyway. And then what he's going to do is he's going to activate scripted momentum, which flings him to that catwalk, but when he's going to also reportal to give him enough extra speed to bounce off the pipe and go to the end. So this is a map that actually has a lot of extra rooms that are all skipped. Yeah, the route's kind of a pain, but he does it reasonably well, other than dying the one time. Right, so this map is awful. We'll see what he does. Here he's gonna... Alright, he misses the button glitch. You can button save that, like they did in Future Starter. Oh, he actually got it. That's really funny. He wasn't confident, but he actually could have just bounced to the end. Alright, he's able to shoot over that Fizzler and get to the end here. And yeah, he's not going to go for Q-Clip. He's just going to go on into the next chamber. See what he does here. Okay, so he messes that flame up. So he's just going to climb on this beam metal thing and get up to the next layer where he's going to just jump across, bounce on the gel, and get that cube. This is the sort of benefit you see from bunny hopping. So it not only makes you go faster, but it actually just makes really, really convenient leaps possible in all sorts of places around the game. And I'm sure you've noticed a few. And we'll see what Jonesy does. I have a feeling he's going to do the same thing Daniel does. He's going to just shoot through this chasm here. And then probably not do that other route. Yeah, he's not going to do it. I don't see a whole lot of people go for it. But it's a really fun route to do. This map is pretty close to intended that Daniel's on. There's nothing too crazy about this. All right. All right, so there's a couple routes that people use on this map. I think Daniel's just going to do the... Yeah, so Daniel's just going to strafe onto this loudspeaker megaphone thing and just get himself out of that segment of test chambers. And then he's able to land a portal up here right outside the last test chamber. Then he uses his crouch hitbox to get that glass to break without the blue gel. Oh, messes this up a little bit. And then he's just going to strafe himself up to the end. So it's pretty fast. Yeah, Daniel has pretty good movement. I think he plays with FOV as well, which makes bunny hopping look better. I do as well. It's honestly just more satisfying, I think. But yeah, Daniel's movement's pretty solid. Is he? Ooh, all right. So we'll see how this goes. Let me know how those splits are going. So he's on borderline PB base, so we really just have to hope he doesn't throw. I know I commentated the race he got his PB on, but I don't remember where his time save was at all. All right, so Daniel here, there's actually a really convenient shot you can do that just shoots a portal basically right to the end of the map. And then he's just going to reportal and jump to get the necessary momentum to get to the end there. So he skips 2 chambers just like that. It's really convenient that that shot's possible. Okay, so Daniel here is going to land some blue gel on the ramp there. And he's going to turn off portal funneling so he can get a really precise angle, walk through this, and spam his jump to stack a bunch of blue gel bounces. Now, ideally, he just flies straight into the elevator. You can get this happen. Oh, and Jonesy misses Bomby Flames, a reportal route. That's a little faster if done quickly. Okay, I don't think Daniel's going to go for lemon skip here. There's a way you can skip the entire test chamber on this map, but it's a really inconsistent lineup. And it's not really worth doing on Speedrun mod, in my opinion, because, like, best case scenario, if you do it really fast and get it first try, then you save a few seconds, but it's pretty luck-based, and the lineup's ridiculously precise to do all the steps necessary to get it. He's 9 seconds behind. All right. We'll see if he can get this. If he can get this PB. All right. He tries for kind of a weird reportal there. Oh, he forgot to replace the blue portal. He misses the strafe onto the platform. And wow, he seems to have struggle with this. Hopefully, well, I'm okay. I'm not entirely sure how he did during his PB, because I remember he actually messed the same part up during the last race that he played, which was when he got his PB. I don't know if it was on his PB's race, though, that he messed this up, so I'm not sure if he'll actually be able to survive that as far as his odds to PB are. Okay, I'm actually interested to see what Jonesy does on propulsion intro. So if I remember correctly, last time when we raced, he did the safer route that doesn't involve the reportal. I don't know if he's changed that since then. It looks like he hasn't, because he normally you'd shoot that orange portal in advance. So Jonesy... Oh no, he is going for the reportal. All right. Oh, he has a really precise setup, though, for that. Interesting. He gets it, though. Daniel does a stuck launch. Kind of missed it, but basically he convinces the game that he's falling when he's not really, because he's stuck on something, and it accelerates his velocity so that when he releases from being stuck, he's just falling really fast and gets a ridiculous bounce off the blue gel. And then he bounces on this pipe. I'm not actually sure why this pipe is bouncy. I don't know if anyone in the chat can tell me. I keep hearing that it contains blue gel, but like it doesn't. I no clipped in. There's no blue gel. So I'm not sure if the blue gel is invisible, or I don't know why they'd put blue gel in there, because I know it's supposed to contain blue gel, but it doesn't. That doesn't really contribute to the gameplay. I'm wondering if they just made it bouncy on purpose because of a, I don't know, to make it a funny feature or something. I'm not sure. All right. Ooh. Jonesy having a little bit of struggling there. Not too bad, though. All right, Daniel opting out of the cube throw. You can just throw the cube onto the button, and it saves a little bit of time. I mean, that's sort of the case with any chamber. It's really only a route on this chamber, because in full game, it's necessary to skip a cutscene, so we're kind of used to doing the throw, but normally we wouldn't take random risks at throwing cubes at buttons to save little amounts of time. And Daniel chooses not to here either, which I don't blame him. All right, Daniel completing tests 2 times. We have seen instances of people completing tests more than 2 times on these races, so good thing he counted correctly to 2. All right, so Daniel is going to get in this funnel and crouch and uncrouch, and basically he's going to trick the game into thinking he's in a funnel when he's not. So he's not going to have gravity. Which, you know, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. He doesn't have gravity at all, so he can fly, but he doesn't have any like downward force that is so reliable. You know, when, like, for example, if he jumps, he's kind of in trouble. So he jumped there and he just went to the ceiling. The other problem with this situation Daniel's in here is that if he is flying and he goes over 300 velocity, as I said earlier, you lose all air control, and he's not on the ground, so he can't rely on friction to slow him down. So he's just going to glide uncontrollably until he hits a wall or something, which is really bad. So obviously, fly glitch is really helpful for speedrunning. And you can see he's using it between several maps here. It does preserve between maps. So he's using it on some of these maps to get faster routes, but it's definitely it's a mechanic you have to be very careful with. Not to mention he has no vertical control, so he could jump there because he was underneath the door frame. But if he needs to go down, he has to find some level geometry or something to deflect himself down on, and we'll see an example of that later. Okay. There, he's just going to float across this map. Here he's going to enter a funnel, which actually updates his fly state, and he's no longer in fly glitch. So he can bunny hop again. Jonesy entering chapter 8 here. See, See if he goes for the cube throw. I kind of feel like he's not going to. Yeah. So Daniel, okay, he's able to shoot that grate because that grate's actually a portable surface. But it's not horribly obvious that it is because it's, you know, your portals go through it when you shoot at it. However, if you shoot the edge of it just right, you can actually get the portal to land on it, and that's useful in that chamber. Okay, and here Daniel is just gonna, instead of using the bridge to stop the cube, he's just gonna catch it in midair like that. Here he jumps in front of the turrets. This button's awful, but he got the cube to land on its back. If you can get the Franken turret to land on its back, it's usually fine, but if you're trying to go fast, that doesn't always happen, and sometimes it'll kind of just waddle itself off the button. All right, Jonesy headed into funnel intro where he's going to grab his fly glitch for the first time. And Daniel on laser catapult where he's also going to grab fly glitch. So there's much faster ways to complete this chamber, but we do it this way because this is the fastest way that we've found for Daniel to grab the fly glitch and then preserve it. So he's going to jump up and use this tube to actually get himself going downward so he can land on this on the exit platform. And so now what he's in his fly state, whereas other faster routes wouldn't have you in the fly state. And that matters because now he's on laser platform, and this map is absolutely terrible to do without fly glitch. At least terrible to do quickly. So he's going to hit that button and grab the cube out of thin air. Oh, Jonesy almost has a bad thing happen to him there. Oh, and the Franken cube walked away. Cubes that can walk were never a good idea. Daniel's actually going to jump on that test chamber, and his screen goes dark because the game thinks he's going to die, but he doesn't. He actually is going to fall into the level trigger because he, you know, you can practice what inputs you need to get there. Not sure what he's doing here. I think he did this on his last race too. I'm not sure what that is. I can't read it. Remind me to ask him what that is, unless anyone knows. So I'm curious. Unless it's portal funneling. It's just really unusual. Oh, Jonesy having some trouble. There we go. Uh-oh. See, there's an example of fly glitch. He actually was off the ground, so Jonesy needed to go back to the door to push himself down. It's really unusual, though, for runners to not have a bind to portal funneling, which is, by the way, that's the mechanic that funnels you into portals if you're falling into one. So if you're falling into a portal and you're just barely off, the game will correct you so that you fall into it. That's what portal funneling is. Daniel flies to the exit of that chamber, but uncrouches. He gets into a crouch fly glitch, and so he uncrouches to disable it. Whoop. So Daniel now here on Finale 1. This is, yeah, normally what we do in full game is we preserve the fly glitch from the last map and just fly through this whole section, but this funnel is so fast in Speedrun mod that it's actually faster to do this. Not to mention this cutscene is also completely gutted, so he's able to just instantly portal himself up to this catwalk. Okay, see how Jonesy does here, and he gets the cube, no problem. The timing for that cube is really weird. Yeah, I feel like you have to go a lot later onto the faith plate than you feel like you should. All right, Jonesy making sure to place that cube correctly on the button, and it works out fine. All right, Daniel on Finale 2. Now, the problem here is most of our Finale routes involve the fly glitch, and Daniel didn't preserve it because it's faster to do Finale 1 without it. So what he has to do now is to take a minor detour on Finale 2 into this room where there's a funnel where he can get it again. Ooh. Jonesy having a little trouble. See, this is why I recommend usually to place the portal on the ground that's on the slanted platform so that that doesn't happen as soon as you like get in there. Anyway, Daniel flies over to this catwalk where there's a later section of Finale 2 for him to go through. Jonesy also going for a safer way to get himself down onto that platform with a steeper pipe that's closer to the exit platform. Daniel going for a safe route here where he just doesn't fly by the turrets. It's normally not too difficult, but with this, the problem is you can't change your crouch state while you're in fly glitch if you got fly glitch on that map that you're on. So he that makes that trick a lot harder because crouch usually makes it much easier to just glide over the railings of those catwalks. Jonesy choosing not to do chocolate milkshake or chocolate chip milkshake or anything like that. He just goes straight through this room. So Daniel going to jump off of that clip brush thing. And no problem. All right, we'll see Jonesy do this. This is he wasn't doing this route when I raced him, so I'll see he must have practiced this recently. See how he does. Ooh, doesn't quite get it. I think he hit the side of the portal there. We have Daniel going into the boss fight. We'll see if he does bomb preserve here. Normally that's something you do, but it doesn't save very much time at all in speed mod. He is gonna, I think he's gonna go for it though. No, he doesn't. He just goes over to that side of Wheatley. Okay. So he's actually able to get on top of this railing and snag that core without getting launched off to the side like you normally would. Ooh, and Jonesy doesn't get fly glitch. There is what seems like a little bit of RNG with this. Sometimes you just don't crouch for long enough, but the time that you need to be crouched for seems to be different. Also, it looks like Daniel's not going to PB because his PB is in 10 seconds. He was close, though. Daniel doing some flating to get this core rather than using the orange gel. It's actually a fun fact. We don't use orange gel at all in single player, which is ironic because it's the speed gel. So you'd think the speedrun would use it. No, the single player route actually like doesn't touch orange gel. We skip using orange gel on every map that has it. Thank you, Let Astray and Jythan script. Daniel just pulling out the sub 34 with a 33:59, 8:51. Solid time. So he's taken this first race because Jonesy is already approaching the 35-minute mark. So let me mark that real quick. Daniel a point. All right. So we'll see how Jonesy does. I don't know what Jonesy's actual PB is, though, because his splits say it's like a high 38, but I could have sworn he got a 37 when I was racing him. He might. That's true. Maybe I should have marked Daniel as the winner too early. Jonesy might time travel. See what happens here. So you see Jonesy stays in that funnel for a while because he just wants to make sure he gets the fly glitch. Because you really can run into situations where it just doesn't happen. It can be really frustrating sometimes. So, yeah, I'm not sure if. Oh, let me switch the audio. By the way, forgot to do that. There we go. Okay. Jonesy does this. I actually think that's a really good route optimization that no one does. Where if you I definitely think it's faster to fly into that room where the loading is or where the load trigger is, just because you get spawned in on the ground regardless. So it's not like you spawn in the air and have to worry about that. So I don't know. Oh, and see, there's a good example. Jonesy loses control. He goes over 300 velocity and can't really move his velocity. He recovers it, so he's able to just get himself into there, but he definitely loses some time. And he gets caught on like a weird clip brush, and he just floats around to the funnel rather than loading his save. All right. Solid. All right. So let's see how his boss fight. Let's get some estimates in the chat. What do we think we're going to see from Jonese? Personally, I'm going like a 38-10. I think we're going to see a 38-10. Or something close to that. So let's see how he does. Opts not to go for Bomb Preserve, which is a pretty common choice, really, for people who run speed mod. Most people don't do it. Oh, he doesn't get out of the way of that push. The thing that pushes you out of the way there. 33, 59, 84. That would be amazing. He would definitely earn some special role in the Discord if he pulled that one off. 3806, 3809. All right. Not bad guesses at all. Let's see. In fact, it's looking like you guys actually are probably going to be closer than I was. Ooh. I don't know if he forgot to turn portal funneling off or if he just shot the portal too late. It looks like he forgot to turn portal funneling off. Or I'm sorry, back on. All right. Oh, and he shoots the wrong portal. Oh no, that was unfortunate. All right. Well, we're all going to be a little bit wrong with this one. He'll probably get, depending on whether he gets moonshot or not, a 38-25, 38-35. Oh no, he won't get a 30. Okay, 38-20. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we're in for another one. So sometimes we allow the person who loses the first race to opt out of doing another race if they don't think they can win. It's just sort of a mercy rule thing. This is a best of 3 normally, but sometimes we end it after one race. So we'll see what Jonesy decides to do here. So I just asked him, so we're waiting on a response there. All right. All right, and we will be doing another race. And also, just so you guys know, Jonesy has set a goal for himself to get a 37 this race. He wants a 37. So let's all root for Jonesy to get a 37. All right, so we're gonna wait for the runners to reset their games. He's gonna get a 28. I sure hope so. That would be something. That would be fun to watch. I also kind of want to watch Daniel get upset because he's already got upset by Lathel. Oh, hi Lathel. You're the one who said that. I hope Daniel gets to 37. I like Daniel and everything, but like me too, to be honest. I want to see Jonesy win because that would be really funny. Daniel would just get so mad. That would definitely be an upset if Jonesy came back with the reverse here. It'd be tough. It'll be very tough for him to do. But it's absolutely possible. Daniel just has to choke really hard. So, Daniel, I see you in the chat. Don't get nervous. All right. Little speedrunning fun fact. In between every run, speedrunners will restart their games because the longer you play Portal, the longer your load screens get. So we don't time load screens, but it's just sort of a quality of life thing, as we don't have to wait through long load screens. We also do shorten load times. That we found stuff that shortens load times. So I don't know if you noticed, their load screens were way faster than you might have experienced yourself if you've played this game before. There is a source auto record plugin that exists that fixes this, and the Speedrun mod actually implements those loading screen solutions in automatically. So the load screens you can see are just a lot faster. All right. So if anyone in the chat helps with crashes, I didn't know that. That's good. Yeah. Speedrun mod does have a habit of crashing. Actually, yeah. Funny story. For those of you who didn't see Daniel's last race, he won the first race and then crashed a bunch of times and got his saves corrupted second race and then lost by 4 seconds. And then he lost the last race. So he got sent to the losers bracket to this match. And he's pretty upset about that. Rightfully so. It was pretty tragic. Ooh, I'm sorry, I can't speak. Tragic situation for Daniel. If that did not happen, we would have likely seen Lathel here instead of Daniel. But Lathel was victorious, clutched it out last race to get that win, and it was pretty funny, to be honest. I counted them off, by the way, so we should see them starting. Okay, there they are. Yeah.
And again, welcome to the Aperture Science
Okay.
Enrichment Center. The portal will open and emergency testing will begin.
Power of friendship.
1.
All right. Fun fact: speedrunners jump on the button here because when you press, when you put the cube on the button, the door takes a couple seconds to open because it's supposed to be broken. But by jumping on the button in advance, ooh, wow, Daniel's pausing for some reason. By jumping on the button in advance, you start that timer for the door to open, and so when you put the cube on, it'll open immediately. Why does Daniel have a black bar? That's a fantastic question. I don't know. Might be able to fix that. Oh, someone's calling me. Let me just send them to voicemail. Okay. Daniel enabling cheats? Yeah. Well, okay. See, I don't know what that command he was typing in on prop catch. He does it every race. Something, and we see some orange text appear on the left side of his screen, so you never know. Maybe he's cheating. Probably not, though. Probably just portal funneling, and he doesn't have a bind. Super weird, though, not having a bind for portal funneling.
Some emergency testing may require prolonged interaction with lethal military androids.
All right, so Jonesy finishes on 1:16. Daniel on 1:13. So Daniel's 3 seconds ahead.
Test is very dangerous. To help you remain tranquil in the face of almost certain death, smooth jazz will be deployed.
And
2.
Jonesy doesn't get that cube to land on the button. Daniel does. Oh, Daniel went for the fast. Well, he got a pretty fast
Congratulations.
cube flip through the door, but he didn't. He went through the portal, so he probably intended to do that, actually. Most of the non-sweaty runners will do that. Okay.
If the enrichment center is currently being bombarded with fireballs, meteorites,
So you see Daniel, portal stand, get the cube out of the air, done. That's the route. Oh, Jonesy messes up the portal stand, and there we go.
Well done. The enrichment center reminds you that although circumstances may appear bleak, you are not.
And it's funny, the route for this room that Daniel's on is basically the same route as for cube momentum. It's exactly the same procedure. So yeah, Daniel's going to get a button stick here, where he just walks on the button, walks off 1 tick later, and button stays activated.
Welcome. And remember, testing is the future, and the future starts with
Jonesy doing the same thing here. Oh, just misses it though. There's a lineup with that light. You probably can tell. Like zoom at the light. Jonesy's not getting it though. He's too far to the right. There you go. He gets it.
good work getting this far, future
Oop.
starter. That's
Jonesy gets an awkward bounce there. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit more about mistakes that the runners have made and things like that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about their performance than the technicalities, because I went through the technicalities last race for the most part. If there's anything I missed, let me know. Or if I noticed anything I missed, then I'll talk about it. And anyone who just got here, if you're curious about how something's done, just ask away in the chat, and I will explain to the best of my ability what's going on. This Portal 2 speedruns definitely look a little bit crazy. Well, any Portal speedrun really looks a little bit crazy to the untrained eye. So, yeah, feel free to ask questions. All right. Yeah, Daniel's movement is really good, which is just going to give him an edge in maps like Wake Up, where Jonesy is on, and like Turret Factory, things like that. Well, it gives him an edge everywhere, but especially on those maps where movement's really just the entire map.
The Incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completely.
All right, Daniel messes that up there.
Down. There it is. One step good. You have
Ooh.
a portal device. There.
All right. Yeah, no problem. No issues here. Jonesy opts out of actually doing portal stands, and he just shoots the portal and then reshoots behind him. I actually do the same thing here. It's a little slower, but it's just like less awkward to do. I don't know. It's probably just a factor of getting the habit of doing the portal stands, because they're kind of weird to do. Because, as I said, the way reportals work is it tries to push you out of a portal stand. Wake Up and Turret Factory are both top 5 maps. I mean, I don't know, maybe for CM, but because it's like skill-based and not luck-based on CM, I guess. But like, I don't know, for full game, they're just boring.
Don't let that discourage you. It's just a data point.
Well, at least you're not Zach, the king of bad maps.
Validated your birth mother's decision. Congratulations. Not on the test. Most people emerge from suspension.
Ooh, Daniel's frustrated. I didn't actually see what happened because I was looking at chat there.
One moment.
He probably just messed up Wetmaker. Again?
These test chambers faster than I can build them.
He stole your title.
Feel free to slow down.
You're gonna have to win it back then, you know?
Whatever it is you
Gotta
do when you're not destroying
practice those bad maps. Ooh, Daniel snags that cube, but he misses the. You can bounce off the cube and just get launched straight down onto the faith plate. It saves like a second or two.
I guess you are listening to me.
It's not a consistent trick, but you don't lose any time going for it, so yeah, Daniel doesn't quite get it. People respect you more. Might be true. That might be true. I don't know though. People respect Zach quite a bit, and he's the king of bad maps. At least I think people respect Zach. I respect Zach. He seems decent.
Results were highly informative. They could not. Good luck. Here's an interesting fact. You're not breathing real air. It's too expensive.
All right. So we're gonna see.
Test is. Oh, advanced aerial faith plates. Well, have fun.
I'm gonna see Daniel go for, I guess, probably the super reportal again.
I have to go to the wing that was made entirely of
Jonesy taking, what was that, three hops to get from the door to the faith plate. Which usually is 2. Oh wow. Yeah, you gotta wait to shoot that, or that'll happen. And no problem from Daniel. So he has text there. I guess that's probably his bind to switch his scroll wheel to shooting blue. Probably it. I still don't understand why he doesn't shoot under, or why he doesn't just shoot under those panels. Because it's just faster and it's not really harder.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that went off. Anyway, just an interesting science fact.
Inconsistency? I guess. I don't know. It doesn't seem like an inconsistent trick. But yeah, I mean, it's possible to mess up. It's kind of impossible to mess up with the route Daniel's going for, I guess. Traumatic experience. Honestly, yeah. I've like changed my routes right before races before because I'll just like try and practice it 3 hours earlier and it'd just nope. It just wouldn't be working.
Test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told you about them in the last test area.
Yeah, Jonesy too, though, going for that. Okay, here we have Ricochet, which is a map that, with practice, gets pretty consistent, but I've definitely seen people mess this up, and if you mess this trick up even one time, it's a pretty hefty time loss, so we'll see what happens. That looked okay. Yep. Oh, he threw that cube really hard to the right there. All right. Oop. Alrighty. Nothing too exciting going on. To see. Daniel's probably not going to go for the fast bridge the gap route. I don't know. Really, really strange choice of route from Daniel on bridge the gap.
Maybe I'll let you ride an elevator all the way up to the break room. And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
But he's getting 33s with it, so, you know.
Well,
I can't really talk, can I?
I didn't see the deer today.
Alright. Man, that's just so weird. I mean, this is not terrible as far as, like, safe routes go. Like, I understand not doing that really awkward jump. I don't like that jump.
If you rubbed your cheek on one, it would be like standing.
Well, I can't do it slow. Like it's either the faster. Like I understand not going for that jump, that weird strafe jump, but I just feel like there's like if you did it just straight up intended, I feel like it would be as fast, if not faster, than that. Because I used to do a route that was similar to that, and yeah, it was slow. It was, yeah, I don't know. Bridge the Gap slow is weird. I feel like everyone invents a new route for it.
What to do with all the money I save recycling your one room full of air? When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby.
Alright.
Future generations can learn.
I actually really remember what Jonesy does here. Oh yeah, he does intend it. See, here, if I were Jonesy, I would just, while b-hopping, let go of the cube and shoot under me and then pick it back up.
Well done.
Like, it sounds difficult, but it's not that hard, and I feel like that's the faster way to do that sort of route. Oh, Daniel with the developer one text on his screen, clearly cheating.
You remember them, right? They're the pale spherical things that are full of bullets. Oh, wait.
For those of you in the chat, if you're not in the speedrunning community, we allow a command that shows developer information. It's not really used in this category, but a lot of us have it on in our auto exec anyway, so that's what that is, in case you were genuinely curious.
To maintain a constant testing cycle, I simulate
Okay.
at all hours and add
So now we're in the boring part of chapter 3.
So you may
Or no one's gonna have anything interesting happen, probably.
The point is, yesterday was your
Oh,
birthday.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Thought you'd want to know.
Jonesy almost had something interesting happen, but didn't lose too much time there. Should be okay.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks stupid. That's not me talking. It's right here in your file.
The jump is I agree. That jump is awful.
But right here, a scientist has noted that on you it looks.
Yeah, I'm so much more consistent with the re-portal thing.
Know about fashion. He probably. Oh, wait, it's a she. Still, I'm going to.
Yeah, I don't understand how you'd use that as a backup. It's just terrible. All right, Daniel in chapter 4 now. This is a map that's prone to going wrong. All right, it's worked out okay. There's a little bit of RNG with that cube falling into the portal. Sometimes it won't fall in, and then you have to go get it. Sometimes it'll fall straight in, and it'll sometimes launch itself into the goo. That is a frustrating one. So you see why he stands in front of the portal, is in case that happens, he wants to prevent it. All right, Jonesy's able to snag that turret, no problem. And Daniel doing his... Oh, twice in a row he misses that.
This next test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize was for. Well, I know it wasn't for being immune to neurotoxin.
I mean, because yeah, I think Bet's runner does this safe route as well. I don't know. I've never had a consistency issue. I guess probably what you said, Lathel, it's probably just traumatic experience is what causes people to do that really, really safe laser chaining route.
I made it all up. Surprise.
Alright, yeah, so Jonesy going for a nice and safe
If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth.
route.
So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you.
On column blocker.
About that surprise. Tell you what. Let's give your
Okay,
parents a call.
we'll see if Daniel messes this up here, and it's probably won't. It's not too hard. Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Well, you know the old formula. Comedy equals tragedy plus time. And you have been asleep for a while. So I guess
Daniel
it's
is
actually
zooming.
pretty funny when you do the math.
Jonesy also opting to do... Unless he walked through there on accident. No? I'm not sure. Really strange. There you see Daniel lost control. He went over the velocity limit and just launched himself in the wrong direction there. It's really, really odd bunny hopping mechanics that they're pretty tough to get used to, especially if you've bunny hopped in other games that don't have that cap, where you can just kind of strafe back and forth like nobody's business. It's just that you can't do that in this game. I'm beginning to think that Daniel doesn't intend to go for that jump around the invisible wall at all, because I feel like his hop pattern could have been fine for it, but he didn't do it. It didn't look like he was going to try to. So he might just jump on those railings and not go for that jump around the invisible wall. It is a risk. It's definitely a risky jump, because if you miss it, you're going to die and you have to reload a save.
I've got a surprise for you after this next test. Not a fake, tragic surprise like last time.
Another thing I guess I'll point out here is you can see Daniel. It's a little hard to tell. He doesn't. Yeah, it didn't look like he did. It's a little bit hard to tell on Daniel's because his is really, really subtle, but we do allow lighting commands to be used. Ooh, messes that up. Hopefully he gets a good cycle here. He doesn't. Poor Daniel. But yeah, we allow commands to make it brighter. Just because Wheatley normally has a flashlight in this section, and in Speedrun mod he still does, but you just outrun him so badly that it's not helpful. And in full game, you actually skip the cutscene where he turns his flashlight on, and so he never turns his flashlight on in full game. And because of that, it's just ridiculously dark for the entire map that Daniel's on, and we just, because different people have different monitors, and we don't want to give unfair advantages to people who have decent monitors that can see well, we just let everyone use lighting commands that are similar to full bright. But Daniel's is really dim. You can see Jonesy's, he is what appears to be a just straight up full bright. Oops. So yeah, that's more the lighting that you would expect to see. The one that Jonesy has. Most runners will have something look like that. Daniel having some trouble skipping around that section. Let's see how he does. Okay, so we're gonna see pancake shot, which we didn't see last run. At least not from Daniel. I don't remember if Jonesy did it. I don't think he did, but I could be wrong. M Sushi does that too? Yeah. I've started just going for it because who cares? Just lose time. Terrible, terrible habit. Nah, it's pretty consistent. If you can recognize the hop pattern being good, then it's actually not terrible. Ooh, Jonesy bumps on something. There is a platform underneath those pipes that you can land on. Let's see if Daniel gets ahead of Wheatley. And he does. It seemed pretty close, but he managed. No problem.
Lines are not rides. Please exit the turret redemption line.
I think race-wise, though, it's safe to say that Daniel has a pretty hefty lead on Jonesy here. They're technically only one map apart, but Turret Sabotage is a pretty long map, and Jonesy's towards the beginning of it. And also Jonesy's timer is ahead by about 20 seconds. So, yeah, definitely a hefty lead from Daniel. But we want to see each runner reach their goal. Looks like Daniel is a little behind his PB.
Almost there. Only the turret control center. Thank you very much.
But we want to see Jonesy try and get a 37.
Well, that should do it.
Template missing.
Oh, brilliant! That's brilliant.
So let's see if they can
Like a buzzer or an alarm of some kind, or like a hack.
reach their goals.
Fair enough. The important
Because yeah, it's looking. I mean, obviously, like there's a lot of space left in the run for Daniel to mess something up really badly.
40 potato batteries. Embarrassing. I
But
realize they're children, but still, you know.
it's
Fairly science, really.
it's unlikely
Don't worry, I'm
that Daniel will lose this lead over Jonesy just because of the difference in their skill level. So I don't want to call the race too early because there's obviously still a lot left. But what I'm most interested in here, just because of how unlikely it is that Jonesy takes over Daniel, I'm mostly interested in seeing if these runners can reach the goals they've set for themselves. Or Daniel ideally wants to PB, and Jonesy wants to get a 37-minute time or a sub 38-minute time. For those of you not familiar with live split, just to give you an idea, Daniel, you can see on Daniel's timer, Jonesy's timer doesn't have this. He seems to have disabled it, or he's using his own timer or something. But Daniel's timer is green. That means that he is ahead of the time that he is expected to be at the end of this map. And so basically, if his timer stays green the entire map, that means he's ahead of his PB. If it turns red, that means he's behind. And if it turns like deep red, that means he's behind and losing additional time. See, Daniel is ahead of his PB. You can see he's green. So, ooh, Jonesy misses the panel skip there, so he has to do the intended route. All right, now Repulsion intro that Daniel's on it's an awful map, and everyone throws their runs on this map. So hopefully Daniel doesn't have that happen, because I'd like to see him get his PB. That'd be good. But he doesn't go for cube clip, and he doesn't commit to the button stick. I think he got it though, so good for Daniel. It looks like he gets this the correct way. Yeah, it's very close. As he deferred to a different route last race. All right. Yeah, Daniel having a pretty reasonable repulsion intro actually. Which, no cube. I agree. Cube clip is free. He should do cube clip. Honestly, though, the inconsistency part of cube clip is trying to get the button stick beforehand. The cube clip is actually pretty solid. All right, so Jonesy, this is another pretty deciding map as to how much time you're going to lose, because this map can eat time just because the two tricks are kind of inconsistent. Looks like Jonesy's trying to do this from a stand, and he gets it. You can do that without jumping, but you have to spend a lot of time lining yourself up correctly. I know you can, but then it's like not as worth doing because you have to go back and get the cube. I guess it still saves time, just not as much. Like normally when I see people do cube clip, I see them do button stick. Like commit to button stick.
All right, let's get started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel. You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel.
Oh, that's true. You can press the button. Oh yeah, that's true. I never even thought of that route.
Every bone in his legs. Tragic, but informative, or so I'm told.
Oh, nice. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I'll start doing that. Actually, no, it's probably not worth doing. Those buttons, those square buttons are pretty easy to get the button stick on. And I actually was running Portal Stories Mel when that button clip or that button stick was necessary for like all of Chapter 2 in that game without lineups. So if you have some practice with it, it's a reasonably consistent button stick to just kind of go for. And there are lineups for it, but they're not that fast. Not as fast as just going for it if you're able to be pretty consistent. All right, let's see if Daniel screws this up. Daniel, I think, has a fear of Chapter 7, if I remember correctly. I personally have more of a fear of Chapter 6. But Chapter 6 and 7 are just both terrifying chapters, to be honest. There's just so much easy time loss. All right, Jonesy going for bombing flames. He gets it this time. He doesn't do it too quickly. So, I mean, I don't think he lost time doing it, but I'm not sure how much he saved. Oh, that's really funny. Daniel missed the portal. All right. There we go. Yeah, that's what you want to see. They're straight in the elevator. All right, Jonesy going for a nice and safe method of getting on top of this thing. Yeah, there is another route on the map Jonesy's on that involves a stuck launch that you can launch yourself basically right to the end of the map, but it, you know, obviously you have to spend time getting set up for it. So, you know, it saves time, but maybe around 8 seconds or so, tops, maximum. So if you're not consistent at it, because it's a very difficult route, so if you're not able to do it consistently, then it's really not worth going for. It's something you have to just sit down and practice for a while.
Congratulations. The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious...
Ooh, Daniel shoots that portal from the elevator. I didn't realize you could do that. I might have to start doing that. It's a good route. Oh. Okay, that would have been fine. He just strafed himself like in front of the fence, so he kind of... Yeah. He did that to himself. That was... that was unfortunate. I haven't been paying attention to his life split. I'm curious if he's ahead. We'll see at the end of this map.
The testing area is just up ahead. The quicker you get through, the quicker you'll get your $60. Carolyn, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yeah, he's not ahead. But he's not too far behind. I'm not sure how much time save he has in the late game. Ooh. Jonesy just barely not getting the reportal. Really interesting. Like, I do a similar thing that Jonesy does actually, and it's pretty decent. I do it a lot less precisely though. He does it like he makes sure he's in that corner. I just kind of like walk in the general area. It's still definitely faster than doing the safer route though for that. Not to mention it's okay practice for that reportal. You do the reportal kind of awkwardly when you do it the fast way. Interesting Jonesy doesn't shoot that portal in advance. It actually makes sense to do on Speedrun mod. It would be a problem in full game because the blue gel isn't constantly coming out of the tube. But it's an interesting little optimization. Okay. So we got Daniel going into Chapter 8. Test. Oh. Misses the portal. Alright, so conversion intro. This is, in my opinion, conversion intro is the easiest route that I still see people like very frequently throw runs on. This reportal that Jonesy's going into. This has upset many runs. Let's see if he gets it. So your reportal, and yeah, he gets it, no problem. It's not a route that should be inconsistent, but for some reason it really is. He can 32 if he plays well. Let's see if he does it. He'd have to PB by quite a bit to get a 32, so that'd be impressive. Let's see if Daniel plays well. Alright, Daniel getting his crouch fly again. Same old, same old. Ooh. Interesting gel. Yeah, he's correcting that. Alright, see if Jonesy makes this. Yeah, that wasn't enough. You have to... You see in the top left-hand corner of both players' screens, Jonesy's is a little bigger. There's a bunch of information. And we use that for a couple lineups throughout the game where it tells us the angle we're looking at, the position we're in, and the velocity we're moving at. And in this case, you can... Even if though you're stuck and you're not moving, you can actually look at your velocity and it'll tell you how fast you'll fall at if you release right then. So we use that so that we know exactly what time we can release it to get a good flame, but yeah, Jonesy definitely went a little early on that one. You also, yeah, you don't actually need the funnel for that to work, but I advise that you use it because that cube can be awful a lot of the time. There's some weird stuff going on that the game does to try and help it stick to the button correctly.
literally your own.
I might have to cook some hot dogs after this.
How can you
I'm getting pretty hungry.
Warmer, boiling hot, okay. Cold, ice cold.
All right. Daniel gets that pretty quickly. That shot can be really, really... Oh. Alright, well he can recover that without too much trouble. Okay, I wish you didn't ask that question because this is gonna irritate people. Okay, I don't eat like very many foods. I'm a ridiculously picky eater. I don't put anything on anything. I don't use condiments on any food. I don't even put ketchup on fries. It's nothing. So, yeah, I'm a plain hot dog kind of guy. Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, new tests. Gotta be some tests around here somewhere.
All right.
It's all right. Everything's good. I just invented.
So they're both, once again, it's actually interesting. Is this the same as the last race? They were both getting their funnel fly at the same time in these different maps. Granted, Jonesy's timer is 30 seconds ahead. Oh, Jonesy got caught. He had to use a funnel to get himself down. And the cube went through the... Oh, Jonesy. Unfortunate turn of events there.
Oh, wow. Well,
Gets everything all fixed up, though. Do I put cheese? Yes. I used to not, but it turns out, yeah, cheeseburgers are better than just nothing. But I don't... Nothing else on the burger. Just cheese. My grandpa's actually more picky than I am. He won't put cheese on the burger. Cheese dog? No. I could never.
Oh, yes.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the cases, I just won't, like, try new foods. Like, I just don't. That's honestly my big problem. Because I feel like a lot of foods, probably, if I tried it, I'd be okay with it, but I just don't. It just makes me nervous trying out stuff, so...
I'm coming. Don't start yet.
Alright. So Daniel going for this is a route that either... He types in his mysterious command again. It might be portal funneling. Trying to think if there's... No, because he has to turn off portal funneling for propulsion flames, and I don't think he types anything in then, so it's not that. I don't know what that is. Oh, see what I mean, though, with Jonesy? Okay, he gets it. The cube sometimes just gets stuck to the ceiling, though, because the game's trying to be generous with sticking the cube to the wall there. Weird. Yeah, you see, he just switches portal funneling off with a bind. So no, it's not portal funneling. I really want to know what that is. Regardless, he gets the trick okay. A lot of runners, you either get it or you don't. You're either like completely consistent with that trick or it throws half your runs. I feel like it's...
Oh, sorry. I hope that didn't disturb you too much then. It was the sound of books, pages being turned. So that's just what I was
He has one for on, for not for off. Yeah, but does he type in a command going into propulsion flames? Because I don't think he would do that trick without portal funneling. I'm not actually sure it's possible. I'm sorry, with portal funneling on. SAR enabled prop flames tests. Oh, that makes sense. That's why he doesn't miss the trick.
Don't mind me. Moving your test chamber a little bit closer to me. I thought maybe proximity to the test solving might give us stronger results.
Propulsion flame. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, prop catch. But prop flames is weird because he doesn't... Yeah, he doesn't type anything into console then. He said prop flames and I just accepted it. Should be PB pace unless he sucks. Alright, well, we'll see if he sucks. Hopefully not. The finales are pretty relaxed maps. By this point, you know, you usually have a pretty good idea of what kind of time you're going to get by the time you're in Chapter 9, because there's not a whole lot to mess up, but now that I say that, he's probably going to mess up something horribly. Yeah, but doesn't he have to take portal funneling off for propulsion flames? Or does he... No, don't toggle. I don't like toggling. I like having it, because honestly, I would just press my portal funneling on button when I go into like every map, just to be sure. unless I want it off.
One or two more tremors in there just for fun.
Warning. Core overheating.
I don't know. Does he type in a command in prop flings? I don't think he does. Because he would need to turn it off then.
You know, give you the tour. To your left, you'll see some lights.
Oh.
Don't know what they do.
Yeah, I guess that works.
To your right, something huge. Are you all right?
Well, don't you need it off to get the boost correctly? At least that's what I thought. I thought you needed portal funneling off to get the
Great. Yeah,
blue
just,
gel
getting a,
boost.
test
No, you don't?
for
Oh, alright then.
obviously, who else
Maybe
might
he
be
just only does it here. I don't know why I thought you did. Weird. Alright, I'll try it without then, because... Well, I guess it doesn't really lose me time to press the bind, but still.
Alright, he's not even trying to be subtle anymore. Or maybe he still is, in which case, wow, that's kind of sad.
Only 3 more chambers to your big
Alright. Oh, Jonesy again not getting funnel fly on repulsion polarity. Oh, I should have switched audio back to Daniel. I'll do that for now until Daniel finishes. It's safe to say, I think, at this point that... Well, a couple things. Alright, one, I don't think Daniel's going to get a 32. I don't think that's possible. But he's probably going to get a 33. I'm not sure he'll PB. Oh. So Daniel just reported his time in match setup. I won't spoil it. I have to check that, though. What do you guys think his time's going to be? Lathel's definitely going to check the match setup and put exactly that time in. Or Melon. I forgot who was doing that before. 34, 37? I hope not. Oh, he does miss Moonshot, but 34, 37, that would be unfortunate. 33, 36. I don't... Okay, so I guess he didn't PB. He missed his PB, though, by less than a second, because I know his PB was a 33, 36 something. No, 33, 30. That's a lot closer. Yeah, he barely didn't PB. That's unfortunate for Daniel. 0.007 off his PB, he just said. That's crazy. Poor Daniel. Let me switch the audio back.
Never actually played cards, meaning to learn. Anyway, new turret, not defective. Ace of 4.
Well, I mean, you know, consistency is key, obviously. So, oh, Jonesy got caught on that wall there and got killed by the turrets.
Anyway, new turret, not defective. Ace of 4s. Best hand. Unbeatable, I would imagine.
Oh, really? That's different. All right. Really unusual route. I have a feeling he just messed something up and that's how he's recovering it. Yeah, so Daniel's PB is 33, 36.81, which is exactly what his timer says here, but SAR gives you more precision, and SAR, his time was 33, 36.817 for this run. So he was off by 7 milliseconds. That's the closest I've ever seen someone come to not PBing. All right. Jonesy misses the portals and just decides to not bother. I don't think... yeah, I'm not sure Jonesy's going to get the 37 he was looking for. If he plays really well, it might be doable.
Okay, I'll take that
Ooh.
as no then.
Yeah, you can't have that happening, though. It's going to be really close. Yeah, so Daniel was ahead going into Finale 4 by 3 seconds, and I guess he lost basically 3 seconds. All right, you're thinking 38-24? Oh, he misses the trigger there. I think he's going to get his 37. I think it's going to be like a 37-45. I don't know if that's a PB for him. I guess maybe it is. 37.50? So Yeah, that's a good guess. 2470. Not bad. That'd be amazing if he did that. Really impressive. All right.
Corruption at 50%.
What happened?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it. I mean, he just has to not mess anything up really badly, and he should be fine.
Hey, you pretty lady.
Warning. Core corruption. 5%.
All right, Daniel. Oh yeah, I guess I'll give him his score.
Before the invention of scrambled eggs in 19...
Warning. Core corruption at 100%.
You have been a thorn in my
I'll mark
side.
Daniel as done here,
Stalemate resolution.
so he gets the invite.
Please press the stalemate resolution button.
Ooh, this is actually gonna be close because he messed it up at the end. Oh no.
No!
He has to get Moonshot. I don't think he can though.
We trapped the stalemate.
Oh, Jonesy.
You are joking. You have got...
Man. And then his game crashed. But he finished the run, so it was fine. Man, poor Jonesy though. That's unfortunate. Here, let me mark. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, that was fun.
That was so almost PB'd. It was
Yeah.
pretty close, you know. Is
0.007. off
that
my
is
personal
yeah,
best.
that's actually crazy. How do you think you performed just overall? Any maps you were
So like I'm
disappointed?
happy that after learning most of the strats like the day before the Latho race and not practicing them since, like I'm able to consistently 33. But both of those runs, man, I felt like I hit absolutely every run in the, or like every wall in the map. Like if there was a wall on a map, I hit like every single chamber.
Honestly, yeah, that's a bad feeling to have.
So I didn't feel great about either, but I had no idea that this run was going to be anywhere close to PBing because I think I paused during Portal Carousel because I accidentally had my splits showing.
Oh,
So I like paused real quick and then like hid my splits because I don't like running
Yeah.
with them. But yeah, I went from like, you know, -10 coming out of chapter 1 to being like -21 and Bridge the Gap, to being +7 underground, back to
Yeah.
-12 after Repulsion intro, back to +6 on Conversion intro. You
And
know,
your
like
Bridge
it's
the
just
Gap-
everywhere.
your Bridge the Gap route really surprised me. It's a
Mm.
really creative route you went with there.
Yeah, it's like a slight alteration of the route that me and Luke developed to flex
Yeah.
on Grand. Oh, what's up, Josie?
And hi, Jonesy.
But yeah, I stopped doing Bridge the Gap reportal because I just like once I started grinding the map in CM, I got too used to doing it quickly, and so I just kept messing it up. So I just stopped doing it because it only loses like 3 or 4 seconds. if you
Yeah.
do it quick enough.
Okay.
Yeah, Jonesy, really close to getting that 37. Just a little choke right at the end there. So that's unfortunate.
That was
though.
that was really unfortunate. I mean, I think you hit Moonshot the first race. I still haven't hit Moonshot like ever. So
Wow.
First race, and then didn't get the portal at
Yeah.
the end, so
that happened to me
Yeah.
on an old PB, and I was pretty upset about it.
That's you hate to see that because you really have no chance to getting Moonshot if you don't get that portal. You're just going in at a weird angle.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's really tough to do. Yeah.
yeah. Well, both runs were PBs, both horrible PBs.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure what your PB was, but yeah, okay, you got so your PB was a high 38 at the start of this, and you got it down to almost a 37. So that's pretty
yeah.
Yeah.
solid
second.
improvement. Yeah,
Second's not bad. That's more than Lathel got when he whooped me.
Daniel, how do you feel knowing that you're going up
You're
against
going
the
against the better player next round.
player?
Burger
Who are you
40,
going
dude.
up against?
Burger 40 is unironically scarier than Lathel.
Oh, for sure.
And
Burger 40 is a force of nature. He's
I mean, to be fair, I'm like consistently 33ing, which I wasn't before Lathel. I didn't have a 33 before Lathel. But I mean, to be fair, like I'm so lazy with P2SM right now that I only do races. I did one half race where I like rage quit at conversion intro before this, and then the last one before that was with Lathel. So it's like,
Man, and honestly, Burger 40, he came out of nowhere, and
he really did a
I
Portal
think that,
1
but that's
runner.
that's the scary thing though, is we really have no idea what he's actually capable of, because he's just been improving like stupid fast.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, so we're not so yeah, we'll see.
He got like
we'll see what
legitimate,
happens.
like aside from the annoying memes and everything, like oh a burger for 40, more like burger gonna get the first 20. It's like he unironically was close to Can't Even during his race.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
Can't
he was
Even
ahead of
playing-
Can't Even in some,
Yeah.
some parts.
And it's kind of wild to think like. I mean, if I can get to a point where I don't hit the wall, like hopefully my mouse, dude, I've been waiting for like a month and a half. I just want my mouse to come in.
Oh
Because
yeah.
the G502 or whatever is insufferable.
I like the G502. It's fantastic. Get
I
the
hate-
G502, everyone. It's a good mouse.
No, don't
Daniel's
get
just wrong.
703, 403. If you want wired, go 403. If you want wireless, 703. It's the real.
Gonna have to do that mouse adjusting though. All right. Any final comments from either of you?
Don't think so.
No.
Good game.
No. Well played.
Yeah. Well played, guys. All right, so we'll see Daniel again in his race against Burger 40 sometime in the future. Otherwise, we have, I think, a lot of races tomorrow. I don't know if we have any
Yeah.
more today. Do you
I
know?
think
haven't
I
checked the
have
schedule.
the thing hyperlinked. No, we do have 5 races tomorrow.
5 races. All right. So
Taki, Hoodveer, Let Us Stray, Madden, Jython, Svanton Solninen, Nevin versus Funkfi, and then Jake versus Wilbo.
all right, yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of matches. Some of them I don't really. I'm gonna have to process all those names, but I'm sure there'll be some pretty close races in there because we're getting more of those now that we're getting deeper into the tournament here. So
I'm excited to see Let Us Stray play again, and then
Yeah.
versus versus Madden, who's like an up and comer. So that'll be cool to see.
mhm.
If Let Us Stray's been putting in any practice, or if he's been AFKing, it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, we'll definitely see you guys hopefully back here with some more Portal 2 races tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Cheers. Bye.